The Pro Plan has everything you need for order management, and it's great for online sellers with more advanced management capability requirements. Within the app, you'll have the ability to manage your shipping with advanced features such as presets and automation rules. You can route your orders to the correct fulfillment destination, keep track of your inventory, and kind of know where it is at all times, and much more. So, with these features in place, you'll be able to manage your orders and inventory with ease and keep an eye on everything related to your orders. In this demonstration, I'm just going to go over the features available on the Pro Plan and a bit about how to use them. But for more in-depth information, we have tons of other videos. I really suggest taking a look at those videos specific to the features you're interested in so that you can really delve into them. And then if you still have questions after that, definitely reach out to us. Your account manager or support team will be happy to help you out and get started and everything. So, let's just go ahead and get started in here. Right now, we're looking at the dashboard. So what it kind of is just a place to kind of check in. You can see when your last sync was and see if you need to sync your sales channels. You'll see how many orders are waiting fulfillment and kind of outstanding action items here, unprinted labels. And you'll also be able to kind of get up to date on our new features, feature updates, bug fixes, anything like that. The most recent ones are going to be listed here, but you can also view all of them to kind of see what's been changing if you've not checked in a while. So it's just kind of a great place to check in. The orders tab here, this tab is where you're going to do all of your shipping, dropship routing, that sort of thing. So we have our awaiting fulfillment tab here. This is all of our orders that need to be shipped or maybe drop shipped if you're doing non-automatic drop shipping. You can also see here too the ones that have out of stock items. They are red. This one is in stock since it doesn't have any notifications, and if it was partially in stock it would have this little caution symbol. And then as far as the symbols on here, these mean if the zip code's not correct or if it's a default match. If there's problems that USPS, when we run through their validation tool, they see with it, it'll kind of flag it. If you want to adjust that, you can go in here. You'll see suggested addresses. So for this one, it just says the zip code's not correct, so we can use the correct one. Or that's a good notion to know, like, okay, well, the customer put this zip code, but it's saying this zip code. Maybe I should reach out to them and clarify. Then we have our requested ship method. So whatever the requested shipping method was on the order when it came in. And we can see any shipping configurations that have already applied. So if it was an order that had like a preset applied or any automation rules, it would have some stuff set up here. Otherwise, it might kind of be empty. To create a label, you just select it and select whatever parameters and adjustments you need to make here. You can create and save presets here, and you can use that to apply the whatever parameters you're saving later. There's definitely a much more in-depth video on this, so definitely take a look at that. You can create automation rules after this step, so if you want to automatically apply that preset based on something in the order, you can definitely do that here. And then you can also, we have insurance here, so if you want to insure the package, you can insure it, and then you can also set like a base amount to insure and create that as an automation rule so that when orders come in, they're automatically have insurance applied if they're over that threshold. Lots of stuff going on here, so that's kind of where you create labels. If you need to create return labels, you can do that here, and this kind of has like all of the same functionality. If you need to do any manual drop shipping or if you need to process orders. So right now this order, it doesn't have any drop ship ready products on it, so there's not an option to do that. But we could manually drop ship it to another supplier and add special stuff here. Once an order is drop shipped, whether it's automatically drop shipped based on your drop ship rules or it's processed like that or even manually drop shipped, those orders go to this drop shipment requested filter. This is where you're going to be able to kind of see all of your open orders for your supplier. Once they ship it out and you enter tracking information, it moves to the shipped filter. So these are open orders that you need to make sure are getting fulfilled. And you can filter this by supplier, by different tags, by different sales channels, date ranges, everything like that. So maybe supplier one is supposed to get out their orders within a week. They kind of have a slower time frame. So we want to look at orders sent to them in the past week. Or the week prior, and okay, cool, those are all shipped out, so they're good. We're not awaiting anything else for them, or whatever your process is. You can also set to sort this. You can filter by tags. You can apply tags. You can export CSVs and create end-of-day scan forms from any of these filters on the orders tab, actually. And then you can see all of your shipped orders here. So you'll see their how they were shipped, what carrier, and then there's also a link to their tracking. So if you follow that link, that's you're going to be able to see where it is in the process. We also automatically write the tracking back to the sales channel that the order came from. So the customer will have that and that link and everything automatically as well once you create or enter tracking information in here. We also have a canceled filter here, so this is just going to be any canceled orders if you've had to cancel any. And this all filter is going to show you all of your orders, and it kind of calls out their different statuses here. So if you need to take a look at all of your orders for a certain time frame or certain tags or whatever, you can check those out here. And we also have, before we move on, we also have good search and stuff. So if you need to search for a certain customer or a certain thing here, you can definitely do that, and it'll pull up all of your orders that are associated with that. Under the product section, this is where you're going to be managing all of your inventory. So you'll probably spend a lot of time here on your pro account just checking it out, double checking stuff, making any adjustments. So this is the active products filter. So right now this is just going to be all of our products. We're going to see if they're dropship products or if they're kit products or whatever. They're all in here. And let's see. You can see the weight, any package dimensions. So if you have preset package dimensions for them, you can see what sales channel it's associated with, as well as the write back quantity. So if you have different, maybe you only have one of your warehouses writing back to one cart, but two for another cart, you can see the different quantities. If you are turning off, if you go into a product and if you're turning off sync with the sales channel, you'll see that the write back's now disabled. So if we go back to this product on the products page and search for it here, we'll see write back's disabled. So we're not writing back a quantity. Even though we have 45 of this in hand, we've disabled write back for this product to this cart specifically. So we're not going to see a quantity. If it was still enabled for another cart that was attached, it would show that write back quantity for that cart. Typically, the write back quantity is the available quantity, which is the difference between what you physically on hand and what you have committed to orders already. And then you can also set like max export quantities, these write back disabled, all of that good stuff here, per sales channel. So you can set a max export quantity, can turn that sync back on, all that good stuff. This is also, so where we are right now is the product detail page. So this is where you can do individual supplier assignments, setting who's the default supplier. Maybe this one is now setting up any supplier SKU. Maybe it's different than yours. Setting the dropship unit cost, all that good stuff. You can also modify information about products, but a lot of this stuff can also be done in bulk or just even from right here. So if I needed to modify the weight for this product, I could just pull it up right here and start typing. Maybe it's 3 pounds and 4 ounces or something that was wrong. We can modify that from there. We can modify the inventory quantities as well. So if you're doing a stock take and you notice that it's different, or maybe there's something damaged that you need to remove from stock, you can go ahead and do that as well. And then all of the products, so you'll see you can select different products. So from here you can select maybe if you want to update the weight and dimensions in bulk or archive them in bulk, or if you're needing to set dropship assignments. So if you want to set a product up as dropshipped, you can do that, or you can leave it as in-house but like set the default supplier for your purchase orders. You can save all of that information from in here. And this is just this is the active filter. So we're seeing all of our products in this filter. We also have a low inventory filter. So if we go back to a product detail page per warehouse, we can see that we can set a low stock threshold. So the low inventory filters any products that are underneath that low stock threshold that we need to reorder. We can select all of them at once, or we can select like a batch of orders, maybe some random products, to go ahead and order more, modify stuff there, and create our PO directly from here. We also have the kit section. This is where we're going to see any kit parent SKUs. So if anything that's kitted up, we'll be able to see it here. And right now it's collapsed, but just like on the order page, we can also expand and see the products that are the components that make up this kit, their quantity available, and how many quantity are required for the kit. And this is kind of a great place to see, like, you know, maybe I'm like, well, why does this kit have this much on hand? I can look at the components and see how that calculation is being made right from here. And then we also have our dropship filter here. So our dropship filter, this is going to be all of our products that are assigned to be dropshipped, whether they're automatically dropshipped or just normal dropshipped. We can see all of those assignments here. Need sync, this is products whose inventory has changed. So this one that we just saw change, but it hasn't been written back to the cart, so it needs to sync. We have total committed here. So this is all products that are on open orders with their committed quantities. And then we have oversold. So this is if we allow overselling on our sales channel, we can go in and see, okay, what's the negative physical on hand quantity, you know, what quantities do I need to restock because I have less on hand than I do committed. Go ahead and reorder those from, like, you can order them directly from here if you select them. And then there's also an archive filter. So if you archive any of your products, maybe they're seasonal or it's something that just didn't sell well, you're not using it anymore, you move it out of your other filters so it's not cluttering it up, but it's still associated with past orders and that sort of thing. So we have information about it in here. And you can always unarchive it too. So if maybe it's something that wasn't popular, but you think it's going to be popular again, you can bring it back, or it's seasonal, whatever there. So that's kind of a brief overview of all of the different sections of the product section. You can also see some sorting and filtering up here. If you want to import products, if you created a lot of new products, if you have your sales channels connected, you can import them from here. If you want, you can export your products, and that is going to create you'll see the task happening here. You'll get a notice that it's working. And then once it's finished exporting the products, they're going to be here, and you'll see we exported 35 products, and here's the CSV to download. And you click that, and it will just start downloading it to have your browser downloads. You can also add products here. So if you have any products that you just need to keep in Ordoro but don't need to be associated with the sales channel or anything, you can create those here. And that's kind of the basic gist of the product detail, the product list page and detail page. Like I said, we do have tons of other videos though that go into explanations of these different features and really using them in depth. So definitely check those out. Purchase order section here. So if I were to go and create a purchase order for some low inventory products, maybe you can set the supplier, the warehouse, quantity, go ahead and create that purchase order. And that's going to be over here in my purchase order section. So it's an unsent purchase order. I can go ahead and send it to my supplier. That moves it to the sent status. Oh, it looks like our supplier has a bad email address, which it is bad because I just made it up to create this for this demo. So this is a notification that, hey, like that they didn't actually receive it. So we're not going to mark this as sent. Maybe you need to reach out to your supplier and be like, hey, is there a better email address? Update that and then send it to them. Or if you know that is a good email address, or maybe they need to fax it or something, you can mark it as sent as well. That just moves it to the sent filter. I know there are some suppliers out there that still have want you to fax them the purchase order or something. So that moves the status to sent. If we go back to the PO section, we'll see it in the sent status now. From here, if we create a goods receipt, maybe I just receive one of the items, but the others are going to come later. Create that goods receipt, and I go back to the purchase order section. This is going to be in a partially received status. And then I can create another goods receipt when the rest of it comes in. You'll see I have, this one was that one received. This one has 2 remaining. Just create those goods receipts here. Enter the quantities received, and then if I go back to the purchase order section, this is going to be fully received now because I received the rest of the items. You can also cancel purchase orders. So if you created it and then you decided not to send it, you can cancel it. That'll move it here. And then you can also just go to the filter to see all of your purchase orders and see whatever status they're in. For the analytics section, this is a really cool section to be able to kind of delve into your data and see what's going on. We have this financial stats section that you can filter by sales channel and date. You're going to see your order count for that date range, your average order revenue, so you can kind of see what customers spend with you typically. We have the total revenue here, which kind of breaks down. You can see the different, see it per day as well. But it has total revenue, product value, shipping, handling, tax, discounts, everything collected on an order, and you can export that into a CSV. We have the cost here, so all of the cost associated with the order, the product cost if you're entering that and updating that in Ordoro, and then the shipping cost, which is, once you create labels or if you enter the cost for dropship labels, you can kind of see all that here. Once again, export it into a CSV. Then we also have a revenue and cost breakdown between shipped and unshipped orders that you can export into a CSV. We have the revenue by state, so you can kind of see like what your top selling states are, so you can see if you're doing better in a certain geographic region. And then you can also filter over and see what it is for every state, which is pretty cool. And export that into a CSV. And then the down here we have the revenue by sales channel and the revenue by supplier. So if we were tracking orders based on supplier and everything, you can see that here. And then we also have shipping stats. Shipping stats are pretty cool because you get the cost that you paid for shipping, any average shipping cost, shipped orders. You can see the cost breakdown by carrier, shipped orders by carrier, like counts. So you can see how many you're shipping with a carrier. So maybe you like have a ton of shipments with USPS, but they're way cheaper than your like way fewer shipments with FedEx and the cost associated with them. So you can kind of see how that's breaking down. Maybe modify your processes. You can also filter this one by if it's ordered, shipped, or if the tracking is created, so you can kind of see different status. Inventory stats here, you're going to see on your on-hand SKUs with the most value, and you'll also see a total value of inventory. So if I'm tracking the cost, which I haven't updated here yet, this should be the total value cost that I have on hand, not what I would make off of it. Top sellers here, this is going to be our top selling products. So how many units were sold on how many orders, what their cost was, the profit margin, all that good stuff. And once again, we can filter this by sales channel, and we can also filter it by supplier. So if we want to see if one supplier's goods are doing better than another. And then you can also filter that by date. And then another really cool one we have here is the top customers. So this you can filter by sales channel and date. And it shows you your customers who have like spent the most with you. And it also breaks down the number of orders and the number of items that they purchased. So it's kind of cool. You can break it down if you want to do like coupon codes for your top customers or customers that place a lot of orders. Or if you want to give them like a special bonus or a gift or something for, customer who spent the most this year, or if you have a lot of recurring customers, cool stuff like that. And that's the analytics section. We have another video that goes through the settings section, so I won't go super crazy on this. There's another one on getting it all set up, but here we can see the general settings, packing lists, we can modify them, we can edit the sales channels, we can modify what warehouses are writing back to them, we can reauthorize them if we need to, if we've changed passwords or something. We can add users and modify their permissions in here. We have to have a second user, but if we also have all of our warehouses here, so we can add warehouses, add or remove, make default warehouses, that sort of thing. Suppliers section here, we have all of our different suppliers. We can add suppliers, we can edit their information. Shippers, we can modify our shipping settings, we can increase our postage balances, we can add more shippers. Automation rules, this is where you create those. Printing and scales, that's where you can make connections to printing and scales. You can connect your accounting here, connect payment systems, so like Stripe, billing, and then data import here. And this is where you can do some mass updates. So you can update inventory if you just set up your account, or you can assign dropship suppliers. Maybe you've taken on a new supplier, so you've created their products and you need to assign them to them. You can do all that stuff in bulk here. And then along with this, we have there's support center link and system status links here. In the activity menu here, you can see any recent syncs, tracking notifications, anything that's kind of like if we're talking to another system, as well as any exports. And then sync settings here, this is where you'll set what sales channels you're importing orders from and writing inventory back to. And that's pretty much it for the pro account. Like I said, there are definitely more in-depth videos. We could really dive into some of these features, but we don't have time for that in this video. And there's more videos, so you can focus on features that you want to take a look at. So look at those, ask us any questions you have, and yeah, thanks for watching.